Good morning, students. In the last class, in the previous class, we discussed how to find out the concentration of the solution. And also, we come to know that the way of the concentration of the solution, there are so many ways to find out the concentration of the solution. So, under that, we mainly discuss a very important 8 topics. So, how to find out the concentration of the solution. So, there are 8, it is molarity, molality, mole fraction, mass percentage, mass per volume percentage, then mole fraction, and lastly the parts per million. So, these are all the ways to find out the concentration of the solution. So, under that we discuss each way by taking one example. By taking an example, we discuss how to find out the concentration of the solution. So, the way of to find out the way of the concentration of the solution is very important. Why? Because they will ask the problem related to that. Mainly in the 2 marks in the exam, they will ask for the 2 marks. They will ask to solve the problem to find out the way of the concentration of the solution. So, in today's class, so let us discuss a very important topic based on how the solute or dissolve in the solvent. How the solute is dissolved in a solvent. A very important concept. So, based on that, we come to know that how the liquid or the gas molecules are dissolved in a given where the solid and the gas particles, how they are dissolved in a liquid. How they dissolved in the liquid. For example, if you take the solid and as a solvent or the solute, if you take a solute, if you take the solute and the solvent, we know that how the solution is formed. Solute and the solvent, this both combine to the formation of what? A solution. Combine to the formation of what? A solution. So, solution comprises of what? A solute and the solvent. So, now, if you take the solute as a liquid, if you take the solute as a liquid, where you take the solvent, a solvent, or whether you take the solvent as a liquid, or you take the solute as a solid or a gas. Solid or gas. Got it? If you take the solute as a solid or a gas, for example, the solvent as a liquid. So, how the solute are dissolved in a solvent? How the solute are dissolved in a solvent? So, here I am taking the liquid as a solvent and solid or a gas as a solute. Got it? So, now if I am taking one beaker, so here the beaker is filled with one of the solvent. Here I am taking the solvent, for example a liquid, that is nothing but water. Here I am taking an example as a water, it is in liquid, you know that it is a solvent, right? So, now as I am adding the solute to this, whether it may be a solid or gas, I am adding this solute inside the solvent. So, as I am adding the solute as a solid or a gas, whether for example I am taking a spoonful of a sugar or a salt, I am going to add to this inside the beaker. So, what happened? Only a maximum amount of solute that dissolved a specified amount of a solvent. Here, what happened? Here I am taking 1 liter of water. I am adding, for example, I am taking 2 grams of what? Hennessy. 2 grams of Hennessy. Sodium chloride. Or otherwise you had a sugar. So, now what happened? Only a maximum amount. So, what is this? Nothing but a solute. Here the solute is solid. The solute is in which state? It is in solid state. So, now here I am taking 2 gram of NaCl that I'm putting inside this beaker. So what happen? That dissolves. It will dissolve a maximum amount of solute. A maximum amount of solute that dissolved in a specified amount of a solvent. Specified amount of a solvent at that temperature. At what temperature I'm maintaining? On that temperature, the maximum amount of a solute is dissolved in a specified amount of a solvent at that temperature. So what about I'm maintaining the temperature? At that temperature, the maximum amount of a solute, the dissolved in a specified amount of a solvent. So that process we call solubility. So very important, we call a solubility. So what is solubility? Solubility is nothing but what? A maximum amount of a solute that dissolved in a specified amount of a solvent at that temperature. It is known as what? It is known as solubility. Got it? So here the solubility depends on what? On what basis that solute that dissolved in a given specified amount of a solvent. And what basis that solute it will dissolve in the solvent. So on what basis it will depend on? So it will depends on a nature of the solute, a nature of the solute, or the nature of the solvent, and also maintaining the pressure. It also depends on the pressure, and lastly the same mole temperature. So these are all the facts for what? For the solubility. The solubility means what? The solubility is nothing but what? A maximum amount of a solute that dissolved in a specified amount of the solvent at that temperature we call solubility. So on what basis the solubility will at the temperature? So on what basis it will depends on? Yes, that is very important. So it will depends on the nature of the solute, the nature of the solvent, and pressure and the temperature. For example, what is the nature of the solute? So nature of the solute is what? Whether which I am opting the solute, whether it may be a solid or gas. That is what? The nature of the solute. So with the nature of the solvent, whether it may be a gas, whether it may be a liquid, whether it may be a solid, the solvent. Then come to the pressure, whether I am maintaining the pressure for the solubility of the given solute into the solvent. And also the same word, whether I am maintaining the temperature for this process, that is what? Solubility. So if I consider this solubility for taking an example for the depend on the liquid, gas and the solid. So means what? A solubility of what? I am taking the solute as a solid or a gas and solvent as a liquid. Solvent as a liquid. Solvent as a liquid. So now I am taking the solubility of solid in liquid and the solubility of liquid in the solubility of solid in liquid, the solubility of gas in liquid, and also the solubility of liquid in liquid. So these are all the things. Or also I am taking here the liquid. So hence I am taking a solvent as a liquid. So now the solubility of a solid in liquid, the solubility of a gas in liquid, the solubility of liquid in liquid. So each thing we will discuss now. So how the solubility process will takes place in solid and in solid, in liquid, solubility of a gas in liquid and solubility of liquid in liquid. So let us discuss one by one how the solubility takes place in solid in liquid. So firstly we will discuss how the solubility takes place under solid in liquid. Solid in liquid. Got it? So hence we start the next important topic, the solubility. Under the solubility we discuss now a very important thing, how the solubility will takes place, how at what it will depends on, all the things we discuss. So now what happened under the solubility? How the solubility it will takes place? Solid in liquid, gas in liquid, liquid in liquid. So next we move on for the next topic. How the solubility takes place? Solid in liquid. Solid in liquid. So now we move on for the very important concept, solubility. Under solubility, solubility of solid in liquid. Very important. Under the solubility, I have to discuss now. Let us know about that. How the solubility will take place. A solid in liquid. Solubility of solid in liquid means what? Here what happened? A solid is a solute where the liquid is a solvent. Here the solid is what? Solute. Then the liquid is what? Solvent. Right. So now how the solubility takes place? Solid in liquid. So every solid are not soluble in a liquid. Every solid, if you take any type of solid, so any type of solid that are not dissolved in liquid, that is somehow very difficult. For example, if you take the sodium chloride and the sugar, they are readily dissolved in water. If you take the NaCl, sodium chloride and sugar, these two are readily dissolved in water. They readily dissolve in water. But if you take a naphthalene, and anthracene, that are not readily soluble in water, but they are soluble in benzene. Yes, I am taking the sodium chloride and the sugar is a solid. This is one of the solute that dissolved in the solvent, that is water. So here the naphthalene is a solid that is dissolved in the benzene. The benzene is nothing but the solvent. Here if you take the sodium chloride and the sugar, these two are readily soluble in water, but they are not soluble in the benzene. So if you take the naphthalene and anthracene, they are readily soluble in benzene, but they are not soluble in the water. So in this examples, we come to conclude that all types of solid are not soluble in all types of liquid. In all types of liquid, so all these types of solid are not soluble. So here we come to know that here the polar solute that soluble in a polar solvents. Here we come to know that the polar solutes are soluble in a polar solvent. Here the non-polar solute dissolves in a non-polar solvent. What happened? Here a polar solute dissolves in a polar. The polar solvent nothing but the water is one of the polar solvent. The polar solute dissolves in polar solvent. Here if you take a non-polar solute dissolves in non-polar solvent. Yes, right? Yes. So if you take this, the sodium chloride and the sugar, they are the solute. Here the water is a solvent. As just now I told that. So these two are the solid. As they are readily soluble in water, but they are not readily soluble in the benzene. If you take the naphthalene and anthracene, they are readily soluble in benzene, but they are not readily soluble with water. So we conclude that all polar solute, here in this case, the polar solute dissolves in the polar solvent. Here the polar solute, the sodium chloride and the sugar, this polar solute dissolves in the polar solvent water. Means the polar solute dissolves in polar solvent. If you take here naphthalene is a non-polar solute that dissolves in a benzene is a non-polar solvent. A non-polar solute dissolves in a non-polar solvent. So in this, taking this an example, so we come to conclude that a like dissolves like. Like dissolves like means what? What is this? Like dissolves like. So same old. So like dissolves like means what? Is nothing but here like means non-polar solute dissolves in like means non-polar solvent. The non-polar solute dissolves in non-polar solvent. Same mode, if you take the polar solute dissolves in polar solvent. So then conclude that a like dissolves like. Like dissolves like is nothing but what? Here if you take that type of solute. If you take the polar solute will dissolve easily, readily with polar solvent. If you take the non-polar solute, they readily and easily dissolve in non-polar solvent. Non-polar solvent. So you conclude that a like dissolves like. Like dissolves like. For that I am taking this two as an example for polar and non-polar solute and the solvent. Non-polar solute and the solvent, I am taking this two example. So why I am taking this as an example? To understand the concept how the solid or dissolves in liquid. How the solid will dissolve in liquid, the process called the solubility. How it will take place. How the solubility will take place in solid and liquid. So now we conclude that, so here only the polar solute dissolves in the polar solvent, only the non-polar solute dissolves in non-polar solvent. So on what basis? Hence we are maintaining some temperature and the pressure. Hence we are maintaining what? Having it some temperature and the pressure. So now if you take one example now, you take a beaker. Yes. So in this beaker, this beaker is filled with what? That is a polar solvent. Hence I am taking a polar solvent. Polar solvent means what? So just I explained that the polar solvent is nothing but what here? I am taking the water, the polar solvent. So we know that like dissolves like means what? The polar solute dissolves in polar solvent, a non-polar solute dissolves in non-polar solvent. So here the beaker is filled with water, the polar solvent, that dissolves readily and easily with what? A non-polar solvent. A non-polar solvent I am taking a sodium chloride, NaCl or sugar. NaCl or sugar. Hence I am adding this NaCl. This is one of the solute. There is nothing but what? Here the state is solid. Here the state is what? Solid state. Here the water is a solvent. Then what about its state? Is liquid. Phase is liquid. Got it? So now what happened? It's filled with water. The beaker is filled with water. I am adding a solute, that is sodium chloride, having the phase solid. I am taking an example, solid in liquid. Solid, this NaCl in liquid. Solid in liquid. So what happened? Now, here I am adding a little amount of what? A sodium chloride into the water. So here what happened? Only a little amount of solute that dissolves. Only little amount of solute that dissolves in this solvent. And so I am adding. So here I am taking a 1 liter of what? A 1 liter of solvent. I am adding. I will take in the grams, 250 grams of sodium chloride, 250 grams of sodium chloride. So 1 liter of water, I am adding 250 grams of what? Sodium chloride, a solid, and it is liquid. So here, so when I add the sodium chloride into this beaker, only a little amount of solute that dissolves in solvent. Only a little amount of solute dissolves in this solvent. That process we call a dissolution. We call it as in what? Dissolution. Dissolution. Only a little amount of solute that dissolves in the solvent, that we call as what? Dissolution. Dissolution. So what happened now? A little amount of solute that dissolves in a solvent and undissolved solid solute. Undissolved solid solute and dissolved solute. These two, they will get collide each other. They will collide each other. They will collide. They will get collide. Got it? So what? Which one they will get collide? So here a dissolved solute, a dissolved solid solute collide with undissolved solid solute, that both they will collide each other, and the formation of what? So here the formation of what? The formation of crystals. Here they will comes out through this solution. They will separate from this solution. So that we call as what? Formation of the crystals. The formation of crystals. That process we call crystallization. The process we call crystallization. The process we call crystallization. So what is crystallization? Here the collision will happen in between a dissolved solid solute and undissolved solid solute. There will be collision will happen in between these two. What? A solute particles. So hence they will separate out from this solution. In the form of crystals. So that process we call crystallization. The process we call what? Crystallization. The process we call as what? Crystallization. So in this the formation we call crystallization. The dissolution means we know that only a little amount of solute that dissolves in a solvent. Only little amount, that we call dissolution. So the dissolved solute and undissolved solid solute, they will collide each other and they will separate out in the form of crystals. That we call as what? Crystallization. So here the dissolution of this solid in a liquid. The dissolution of solid in liquid. A dissolution of solid in liquid. It may be an exothermic or endothermic. Dissolution of solid in liquid. It may be an exothermic. The process may be an exothermic or endothermic. So if the dissolution of the solid in liquid is an exothermic means what about its effect? So where it's exothermic, so what about its solubility? The solubility increases where the temperature decreases. Got it? Temperature decreases, here it is an increases. So here a dissolution of solid in liquid is exothermic, means what about its solubility? The solubility will increases, decrease in the temperature according to the Le Chatelier principle. According to what? According to the Le Chatelier principle, if the dissolution of solid in liquid is exothermic, means the solubility increases, decrease in the temperature. Decrease in the temperature. If the dissolution of solid in liquid is endothermic, endothermic means what? What happened here? What about its solubility? The solubility will increases. It increase in the temperature. The solubility increases. Increase in the what? Temperature. Increase in the temperature. So this too is very, very important for your CET concept. They will ask in CET whether they will ask like this question: dissolution of a solid in a liquid is in exothermic. So what about its solubility and its temperature? Whether it is increase or decrease, whether it is increase or increase, whether it is decrease or decrease, whether it is or decrease or increase. So the right answer is the dissolution of a solid in a liquid is exothermic, means what? The solubility increases, decrease in the temperature. It will increases with a decrease in the temperature. Goes on decreasing your temperature. So what about the solubility? Whether it is a dissolution of a solid in a liquid is exothermic, means what? The solubility increases. It will increase when you decrease the temperature. It is an exothermic. Exothermic evolved. Got it? Whether it is an endothermic means what? If you increase the temperature, what about the solubility? Obviously it will increases. Where it observed. Where it is an endothermic. So once again I am telling you, it is very, very important concept. The dissolution of solid in liquid is exothermic, means the temperature it will decreases, where the solubility it will increases. Don't get confused. So if the dissolution of a solid in a liquid is endothermic, means what? Its solubility, what happened? Its means how to increase the solubility? We have to increase the temperature to increase the solubility in endothermic. In endothermic, when the dissolution of solid in a liquid is endothermic, means you have to increase the temperature, increase the solubility. Dissolution of a solid in a liquid is exothermic, means what? You have to decrease the temperature to increase the solubility in exothermic. So this is the two concepts. Based on the Le Chatelier, we are discussing that. Based on the Le Chatelier principle, we discuss how the exothermic and endothermic reactions that takes place in the dissolution of solid in liquid. Dissolution of solid in liquid. The same thing, if you take this, if a solution that does not dissolve more solute, that does not dissolve a more solute. If you take a solution, if a same a solid in a liquid solution, if a solution dissolve more, dissolve a solution, I am writing now, if a solution, a very important, dissolve a less number of solute in it at the temperature and also pressure. At the temperature and pressure is called, very important, is called saturated solution. Is called saturated solution. Saturated solution means what? A solution, if you take a solution, the solution which dissolves a less number of solute in it, means a maximum number of solute in it at the temperature and pressure So such type of solution we call a saturated solution. So next, if a solution dissolve a more number of solute in it, it has the ability to it has the capacity to dissolve a more number of solute in it, so that we call unsaturated solution. That type of solution we call unsaturated solution. If you take two beakers, and so I am taking two beakers filled with water, filled with solvent water. I am taking an example for the saturated and unsaturated solution. So how can we come to know that whether it is unsaturated or unsaturated? So same mode, I am taking water here. So here also I am taking a polar solvent water. Here also water. Adding NaCl. Same thing, NaCl. Same 1 liter water. Here also 1 liter water. So how can we find out? How can we difference whether it is in saturated or unsaturated solution? So in this, I am taking 1 liter of water is filled in a beaker. I am adding the NaCl. So I am adding how much of NaCl here? How much? Same 250 gram. Here also only 250 gram. So here I am adding 250 grams of NaCl to this 1 liter of water. Here also I am adding 250 grams of NaCl to this 1 liter of water. So in this case what happened? Only a 150 gram of NaCl is dissolved. Only 150 grams or 120 grams of NaCl is dissolved. A less number of solute that dissolved in a solvent at the temperature and pressure. Only this much of NaCl is dissolved in this beaker. So this type of solution we call saturated solution. The formation of solution. So this type of solution we call saturated solution. So if you take another beaker filled with water, 1 liter water, I am adding 250 grams of NaCl. So here what happened? I am adding more and more solute to this. So fully the 250 gram of NaCl is fully solid. So this solute has a capacity of what? Dissolve a more of solute in it. Have the capacity of what? A more of solute in it. Or example, if you take 2 liters of water, hence I am adding more and more solute to this. Hence it has a capacity to what? Dissolve a solute in it. So that type of solutions we call unsaturated solution. Unsaturated solution. So now you have a doubt, madam, how can we come to know that? Hence I am adding 250 grams of NaCl to this beaker, only 150 gram is soluble. So here I already explained how the dissolution takes place. How dissolution takes place, students? So only a little amount of solute dissolve. One little amount. So hence I am adding 250 gram. Only little amount of solute is dissolved. A left thing we call that type of solution we call dissolution. So where the dissolved and undissolved solute, they will collide each other and there comes out and separates out in the form of crystal. That process we call crystallization. Got it? So on that basis we can easily find out. Yes, it is a saturated solution. Got it? So it is a saturated solution. So if you take this type of, so here there are more number. So hence it goes on adding. So hence it has a capacity to dissolve in it. Has a capacity of what? To dissolve in it. A solution that dissolve a more number of solute in it at the temperature and pressure. So such type of solution we call unsaturated solution. We call unsaturated solution. Unsaturated means what? Here a solution dissolves a more number of solute. In it at the temperature and pressure. So that we call unsaturated solution. Saturated means what? A solution dissolves a less number. not a more number, a less number has a capacity of only a maximum number, that's all, a less number, a maximum number of solute in it at the temperature and pressure is known as what? Saturated solution and unsaturated solution. So in this solid, in a liquid type of solubility, so what about the effect of pressure and the temperature? So what they will ask, what about the effect? What about the effect of temperature and the pressure in the solubility of solid in liquid? So is there any effect of temperature, students? Is there any effect? Yes, obviously. Is there an effect of temperature? How it will affect? If you increase the temperature, what about its solubility? The solubility also increases. If you decreases the temperature, what about the solubility of a solid in a liquid? It obviously increases. In what time? So in what time? That is very, very important. If it is an if you increase the temperature, the solubility also increases. That type of we call as an endothermic. Endothermic. If you decrease the temperature, the solubility will increase means what? It is an exothermic reaction takes place. Exothermic means the dissolution. It may be an exothermic or endothermic. So here the temperature effect is very, very important in the solubility of solid in liquid. The effect of temperature is very, very important. So it is the effect. So what it will affects? Means both the temperature and the pressure. If you take, what about the temperature affect to the solubility in liquid and the pressure? And the pressure affects. First you take the temperature. The second one is the pressure. So if you take the temperature, what is the effect of temperature in the solubility of a solid in liquid? They will ask the question like this. What is the effect of temperature in the solubility of a gas, solubility of a solid in liquid? So we know that how it takes place. Here the effect of temperature means the same thing. Exothermic and endothermic. Based on the Lee Chattel here, we know that exothermic, how it will exothermic takes place in the dissolution it may, of solid in liquid, it may be an exothermic or endothermic. Whether it is an exothermic means the temperature, if you decrease the temperature, the solubility increases in exothermic case. If it is endothermic, if you increase the temperature, the solubility also increases in endothermic. So the effect of temperature is very important in the solubility of solid in liquid. Solubility of solid in liquid. So the next, take to the next thing, that is the pressure. So what is the effect? They will ask, what is the effect of pressure in the solubility of what? Solid in liquid. Solubility of what? Solubility of solid in liquid. What is the effect of pressure? So there is no much effect. There is no much effect of pressure. There is no need of what? Pressure here in the case of solid in liquid. There is no much effect. Why? Because it is an uncompressibility of what? The liquid and the solid. They are very uncompressible. You can't compress this one. Which one? The liquid and the solid, where the gas molecules, if you come across the gas molecules, it is very easily compressible. But you take the solid and the liquid, the solid and the liquid, the solid and the liquid, these two are uncompressible. Can't compress fast. Why? Because the molecules are what happen? They are arranged, they are packed each other. If you take the solid, the molecules are packed each other. If you take the liquid, the little bit of distance, that's all. But so that is very difficult to compress the solid and the liquid. So the pressure has no effect, has no much effect in the solubility of solid and liquid. So please keep in mind, if they are asked the give reason, what is the effect of a temperature and a pressure of the solubility of solid in liquid? Here there is no much more effect in the solubility of what? Solid in liquid. Which one? That is pressure. Why? Because the solid and the liquid, the both are uncompressible. Here the molecules are fully packed. It is very difficult to compress. So if the the pressure has no much effect in the solid. It is solid in liquid. If you come across the temperature, we know that how the temperature it will happen. If we increase, what happen? If you decrease, what happen? So this is a very important concept based on the solubility. A solubility is nothing but what? A maximum amount of a solute that dissolved in a specified amount of a solvent at that temperature. So that we call as what? We call it as a solid in liquid. So now I am having a question, student. So how the solid and the liquid, they are get dissolved. So there is some force that act in that. So what's that force? So what is that? There is an intermolecular force of attraction that happen inside this molecule. So what happened? Here there will be some force of attraction is acting inside that. So that we call as an intermolecular attraction of molecules. Intermolecular force of attraction is playing a role, a very important role in this. So the solid and the liquid get dissolved means they have some attraction. The molecules have some attraction with each other. So that we call as an intermolecular force of attraction in between these two molecules. So based on that, they will get dissolved each other. Based on that, they will dissolve having the force, the intermolecular force, then act in them. So this is how the solubility will takes place in which type? A solid in liquid. A solid in liquid. Taking one example, a most important terms we understand in this concept, that is what? Dissolution means what? Crystallization means what? So whether the dissolution of a solid in liquid is an exothermic or endothermic. So what is saturated solution? So what is unsaturated solution? Then come back to what are all the effects of these two concepts. This how it will affect, how the temperature will affect and how the pressure is affected. So these are all the terms are very important terms, and also they will ask what are saturated solution, what are unsaturated solution, what is crystallization, so what is dissolution, so what is the effect of the temperature and the pressure, the solubility of a solid in liquid. So here if they ask what is saturated solution, saturated solution means what? The solution dissolves a less number of solute at that temperature and pressure. So that type of solution we call saturated solution. Don't get confused. Most of them they will get confused what is saturated and unsaturated. So for that, because I am giving one example and explain the concept, don't get confused. So what is an unsaturated solution? A solution dissolves a more number of a solute in it. It has the ability and capacity to dissolve more and more of solute in it. So that type of solution we call unsaturated solution. Unsaturated solution. So on that, this solution is very important. Only a little amount of solute that dissolves in a specified amount of a solvent we call dissolution. Here what happens? A dissolved solute and undissolved solute. These two, dissolved and undissolved solute, this both will get collide each other. Collision will happen and they will separate out from the solution in the form of crystals. That process we call crystallization. So we can easily find out how the crystals will form. So the same process, the dissolved and undissolved solid particles, they collide and they left behind, they will separate out from the solution. Formation of the crystals, that process we call crystallization. And also how the dissolution of solid in liquid, according to the Le Chatelier principle, we come to know that whether it is an exothermic and endothermic. Got it? And lastly, what is the effect of temperature and pressure? Very important. So there will be, if they ask what is the effect of pressure, there will be no much of what? Effect of pressure. Why? Because the liquid and the solid are both are uncompressible. Why? Because here the particles are fully packed, the molecules in the solid in the liquid are fully packed, they are closely packed with each other. It is very difficult. So there will be no effect of pressure if you take in the liquid, solid in a liquid. So this is how the solubility will takes place in the one form, that is solid in liquid. That is what? Solid in liquid. Okay students, thank you. I hope that you understand this concept, but it is a very important concept. Once you please practice it and about this, all these terms, write in a definition form. What is distillation? What is crystallization? Saturated, unsaturated? What is the effect? So please write in the definition form. Practice it. Okay. Thank you, children.